Hey everyone, welcome back to the Living in Maryland channel, and today we are discussing Maryland's second largest city in all of Maryland, located within Howard County, which is Columbia, Maryland. Population of right around 105,000 people, so we're going to discuss all things living in Columbia here in just a moment. If you are thinking about making a move to Maryland, if you're wondering what it looks like to buy or sell real estate here in Maryland, we absolutely love helping people out in any way possible. So however you feel most comfortable reaching out, whether that's by phone, text, or email, please feel free to reach out anytime, and we would love to have a conversation with you. All right, so jumping into Columbia, Maryland, one of the things to know about Columbia, and one of the things that I love about that area is just how central it is. So it's located pretty much kind of a little closer to Baltimore, but right in the middle between DC and Baltimore. So you're about 25 minutes from the Inner Harbor, downtown Baltimore, and then you're about no more than 45 minutes, maybe with some traffic, down to DC. And then also proximity to Fort Meade, probably about 20 to 25 minutes, no more than that, to get to all your government work and all job opportunities located at Fort Meade. So when it comes to overall location, Columbia is really, really hard to beat. And then also the diversity of housing within Columbia just makes it a very attractive area to a lot of people, families, even single people. So you've got a ton of different condos, apartments. There's even some kind of mini high rises going in downtown Columbia, and then a ton of detached homes and townhomes as well. So whatever you're looking for as far as housing for you and your family, Columbia is going to have it as well. All right, and one of the first things I want to talk about when it comes to Columbia is how Columbia works as far as a city. So it is a planned city. It does have 10 different villages located under the one umbrella called Columbia Association. So one of the things you want to know about it is it does have a citywide tax, and about 85 to 90% of Columbia pays this Columbia city tax. So this is definitely something you want to be aware of. And they act in two different fashions. So they act as basically a city tax, and then they've got the HOA component to it. So it's definitely something you want to be aware of. If you're not a huge fan of HOAs, and you probably won't really like how Columbia operates. So definitely something to be aware of depending on what exactly you are looking for. Now, the reason why it's called a city tax is because it is charged based on the tax or the assessed value with the taxation department within the state. So it's something that piggybacks off of the assessed value with the county, and that's how they charge that city tax. Now, it's paid once a year. Your typical single family home within Columbia is paying anywhere from $1,500 to $1,800 a year for this Columbia tax. Your typical townhome is somewhere between $800 and $1,200 a year. And then your typical condo is somewhere between $400 and $600 a year. Now, there is a lot that Columbia does, so it's not something, in my opinion, where your money goes to complete waste. There is a lot that they provide, which is awesome. So they do a ton of different landscaping all throughout the city of Columbia. So when you go driving through Columbia, you will definitely notice that. You'll also notice that they have a ton of trails, interconnective trails, all throughout Columbia. So it's really cool. You can get from various parts of Columbia throughout these trails. So, and they're all paved. You can ride bikes, roller skate, walk, do all sorts of things on these trails. Something that I love about Columbia. So that's a big thing that they offer too. They also have 3 different lakes that they own and operate. And they just have a ton of outdoor green space, stuff that they take care of. So definitely a lot that they do, but it is going to be something as a homeowner, if you decide to buy a home in Columbia, that you are going to be contributing towards and paying for. All right, next is how they operate as an HOA. So they do have covenants, they do have bylaws, there is documentation and a resale package that you do want to get if you are considering purchasing a home in Maryland. So as a realtor, I've worked in Columbia for years now. It's definitely something, especially when I'm working with buyers, that I'm very, very aware of, and making sure that we get that stuff prior to closing. They also recommend, the city of Columbia does recommend, that you get what's called a letter of compliance from the seller. This is to tell the buyer that there are no active violations within Columbia for the property. So that's something you want to be aware of, because if there are violations, those are going to carry over to the new owner. So it's something that we definitely want to be very aware of, and making sure that you're inheriting a violation-free property when you are buying a home in Columbia. Now, Columbia Association never steps in and stops a sale. So this is important stuff to know so that you can make sure that you are getting this stuff beforehand. So again, this is why as a realtor, I'm always asking for that stuff. But if people are not familiar with how Columbia works, it's definitely something a lot of times that I see fly under the radar. Buyers are just never even aware that this stuff is available to them. And then they find out that there's violations when they go to sell, and then they get frustrated, and it's kind of this whole thing. So if you are buying a home, just make sure that you are getting that stuff ahead of time so you know exactly what you're walking into and what those violations may look like if there are violations on the property you're pursuing to purchase. All right, next thing to know about Columbia is the various amenities that it has. Now, this is an awesome thing that I love about Columbia. They've got tons of pools, fitness centers. They own and operate 3 lakes. As I mentioned, you've got Lake Kittamakundi in downtown Columbia. You've got Lake Elkhorn, and then you've got Wild Lake. They all have paved trails around them, so they're awesome areas to get out and walk and be with the family. And then you've got various parks throughout the area. You've got Bland Air Park, which is a newer county park located right in the heart of Columbia. Centennial Park is technically Ellicott City, but it's right on the border of Columbia and Ellicott City, so that's something that's awesome as well. Over 300 acres, huge, massive lake where you can just really get lost back there. So that's definitely an area that I would check out as well. Just so much to do. Now, one thing I do want to specify is that when you pay the Columbia tax as a homeowner in Columbia, you do not automatically get access to the things like the fitness centers, the pools, and things like that. So that is often referred to as Columbia Association. That is going to be a separate membership that you're going to have to get. Now, as a Columbia tax payer, you do get a discount. So as someone from a neighboring town like Ellicott City, Elk Ridge, Jessup, or something like that, they could still purchase access to Columbia amenities and things like that, but they're going to pay a higher rate than someone who lives within Columbia and pays Columbia tax. So definitely something to be aware of. And the cool thing about their memberships is you can choose, what you want. So you can choose just the pool memberships, which may be around $50 a month. You could choose just the pool memberships, usually around $90, $100 a month. And then you can buy their full family package, or, where you have access to a ton of different things, but those can range up to the $450 a month range. And those prices are more in line with a homeowner who's paying Columbia tax. So if you're not a Columbia tax payer, then you're going to pay a little bit of a higher rate. So just knowing that you do have access, even if you decide to go to a neighboring area, but you want to utilize Columbia amenities, it's definitely something that you can still purchase and look into when it comes to that. All right, next thing I want to mention about living in Columbia is the amazing restaurants that Columbia has. So I want to list a few here just to give you an idea of things to check out if you're looking to try something new. So you've got Royal Taj, located within Columbia. Some of the best Indian food that I've had in all of Maryland. So definitely something I would check out. You've got Dock Cow. This is in the newer Meriwether district. This is an awesome area with some newer apartments, some high rises, stuff like that. A lot of newer restaurants and things like that. Dock Cow is a awesome Thai food restaurant. So if you're looking to try some Thai in the area, definitely check that out. Next is Casbar. This is definitely my favorite Turkish food restaurant in all of Maryland. So it's so awesome that it's right local here in the heart of Columbia. And then you've got Iron Bridge Wine Company. This is a place that's right off of 108. So it's bordering Ellicott City, actually across from Centennial Park that I referenced earlier. And this is an awesome little place. It's small, it's quaint, but it's just a really cool place to go to if you want to try some fun and awesome drinks and some great, more of a American style food. So definitely check out some of those restaurants, some of my favorites located within Columbia. All right, next thing I want to mention here is the Meriwether District, and specifically the Meriwether Post Pavilion. So this is an awesome place that year-round has awesome concerts, and we get big names here. So my wife and some friends earlier in the year, they saw Shania Twain there. I know Rod Stewart, several other big name people have come just over the last 12 to 24 months. So if you're looking for awesome concerts and some big names, just local right here in Howard County, I would definitely hop on Meriwether Post Pavilion's website and check out and see who is coming soon. And then also they've got things like beer festivals. They've got Wine in the Woods right there at the Meriwether area too. So just a ton that is always going on there. So no matter what you like to do, if you're looking for things to do right local in downtown Columbia, there's always going to be something going on at the Meriwether district. So I would definitely check out that area as well. All right, everyone, thanks so much for watching. I hope you learned something new about Columbia, Maryland today. If you ever have any questions about living, buying, or selling real estate here in Maryland, please feel free to reach out, and we will see you at the next video.